Hey, I am going to show you how just a little known band of rebels, we call ourselves Ronin. We're making $500 commission, $1,000 commission, get people making $5,000 commission simply replying to emails and DMs. We don't get on the phone. We don't have to do Zoom. Obviously, I couldn't be able to do it if I had to get on Zoom. And we do it for small business owners, mostly small online business owners, but I've got a few Ronin that are just cleaning up, doing it for roofers and brick and mortar businesses and such like that. But we mostly do it, we like the big ticket stuff. We do it with all free tools. If you see behind me here, I'm a big fan of TV, which means I'll never be successful, right? I love Breaking Bad. I've watched it probably three times now. And the only way I can assuage my guilt and be a good husband is I've learned how to reply to emails and reply to DMs and either make sales for myself or sales for other people and get a big fat commission for it. There are no lack of emails and DMs to reply to. So, what do we do exactly? So, we team up or we partner up with small business owners, and mostly small business owners are like everybody else. They're short on time. They have the thing that they do, and whatever that is, if they're putting roofs on or if they're trying to help people with their health as coaches or what have you, but they're short of time. Let's give you an example. They'll run a webinar, let's say. So they're a coach, they run a webinar. A certain amount of people will come to that, will register for that webinar. A certain amount of people will attend the webinar, right? And then only a small percentage will buy on that webinar. Now, of course, what's going to happen after the webinar, if you've ever jumped on a webinar, they're going to blast the crap out of their whole entire list, trying to get more sales, right? Which totally makes sense. When it's all said and done, though, they still only close a fraction of those people that came to the webinar. But that's usually about all that they do. What they don't do, what we do, is we run one on one follow ups. We simply go in there, we thank people for coming to the event or coming to the webinar, or going to the challenge or buying the low ticket thing. And we make them an invitation to get the next thing. And the most successful way to do it is personally one on one, especially with all the AI that's out there right now. We are using AI to make it easier for us, but we'll keep it real simple for now. But people will reply, right? And then we respond and we help them make a simple decision, yes or no. We're totally okay with no. But what we found is what's really lacking in this world is intimacy and a personal one-on-one nature. And even if we don't enroll them into the program, we find out real reasons why they didn't, which is super useful to the business that we're partnered with. And it's super useful for us to figure out how do we need to talk about this when we reply so we can get the sale. Does that make sense so far? I just using the webinars as one example. There's so many low ticket funnels now, right? What happens in a low ticket funnel? They buy the low ticket thing, they get presented a one time offer for a bigger ticket thing, or maybe a big ticket thing for coaching. They blast the whole list, right? It's still only a fraction of those people take them up on that. What they really need is somebody one on one to reach out to them or reply back or just answer their questions that they have. But most business owners are super busy and too busy to do that, right? There's all kinds of 5 day challenges, and there's whole Facebook groups and whole school groups just full of buyers that never get thanked for buying and an invite to do the next thing. There's just a world of opportunity out there for anybody that can just be more personal and has the time to do some one-on-one stuff, even for a little while. So if you're getting paid $500, $1,000, or more, I don't know what you do for a day job or how you keep the lights on, but for us Ronis, a little ragtag rebel group, it's pretty good money. I've got a guy in Finland. He sells $25,000 things. He gets 20%. He makes 5 grand commission on that. Again, mostly just replying back to people and answering their questions one on one, all by email and DM. So business owners really need us right now. Right now, ad costs are they're not going down anytime soon. They just keep getting more expensive, and especially on Facebook. I'm not saying there won't be a new social media place where they can get ads cheaper, but they almost always go up, right? They don't want to hire anybody, particularly. Well, you got payroll and government and all that kind of stuff, and salary you've got to pay. So what happens is one of our Ronin come along and says, "Hey, what if I personally reached out to all your attendees that showed up, but they didn't buy, and just thanked them profusely for coming to the webinar and seeing if they would like to continue the conversation or the journey that they were on?" And what we find is a lot of people, just the timing wasn't right, maybe on the webinar. I've made thousands and thousands of dollars from following up people that actually flew out to events, right? They flew out to an event, like a real estate education event. They flew all the way out there. They get pitched while they're at the event, $10,000 package or a $15,000 package. And then after the event, nothing, right? It's almost like taking candy from a baby to reach out to those folks and say, "Hey, thanks for coming to the event. We really appreciate it. And hey, we would like to make you a special invitation to do whatever the thing is. Would you be down for that?" And just following up one on one, it seems too simple to work, but today in this world, the one-on-one, the intimacy factor, just raising that up, people will open up. They'd be like, "Yeah," like a lot of times, like, "Yeah, like I totally want to do that, but I had to wait for some cash to come in, or this was going on, that was going on." So a lot of times it's just a timing issue. Very often when we do one-on-one follow-up with people, they're like, "Yeah, I was going to go do that, but I was like right in the middle of this." Those are common on webinars. "Hey, I was going to take that offer, but I was in the middle of doing this while I was watching the webinar, and then I forgot about it." So it's a lot of times they just forget about it, right? But nobody follows up with them one on one, and that's where we come in. So it's not hard when we go to a business owner and say, "Hey, why don't I follow up with them for you? You don't have to pay me anything. You just pay me a small percentage. You give me 20% after the money hits your Stripe account or your PayPal account or your merchant account." Does that make sense? It's not that hard. And they're like, "Yeah, let's give that a try." We don't have to pressure them because we do it all on a paid for performance basis, which we'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. But it's not a big risk to them. There's lots of upside. So most business owners, if you present it that way, they're like, "Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world to me. Like, how can I get you my last webinar attendees?" Does that make sense? Yeah, here's what I really love in my nature, and a lot of the Ronin like too. Not everybody does it this way, but since the commissions are so good, we're getting $500, $1,000, $2,000. We've got a lot of meat on the bone where guess what? We don't have to do all the one-on-one follow-up, right? I've got people that do the follow-up for me, so I don't even have to look away from Walter White when he's doing his next run or whatever. He's cooking up his next batch of crystal blue. And you may want to do that too, right? I typically pay $20 an hour plus a little bonus on each sale if I'm doing that, right? There's all kinds of different ways you can do it, but you don't have to do it. And then again, AI is coming, but AI, we're using that to even make it simpler, but it still super feels one on one. Again, the timing is great. Now, you may be wondering, okay, why don't we just do this for a monthly thing? Why don't we just charge them $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or whatever? There's a couple reasons why we don't. I'm not saying you couldn't do that. You can probably go out and find somebody today that, if you know how to do follow up and stuff, that would take you up on that offer. There's a couple reasons why we don't. One is Ronin do not like clients. We do not want clients. We want partners. And the reason we don't want clients is because we don't want to take orders from people. We don't want the client underling relationship. Our motto, by the way, is serve no master. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with serving people, but I don't want to serve a master. So, one of the reasons why we do it on a paid per performance basis only is so we can get in there and run a real simple test, right? They haven't given us any money up front. We can run a real simple test. We can make a few $1,000 if the test goes well, or if it doesn't go so well, maybe we'll just make $1,000 or maybe no bucks, right? But then we can just be done. We call that a first date. We can just be like, "Hey, sorry it didn't work out," and we can be done. We can also see how they act on a first date, right? Are they going to be all up in our grill. They're going to try to order us around so we can get the hell out of there because our anonymity and our sense of time freedom and personal freedom are the most important things for us. So we don't want clients. We don't want people to pay us up front. We don't want people to pay us on retainer because as soon as they start paying us on retainer, we're at odds with each other. They want to get more from us. Like we want to do as little as work possible. When we're paid for performance, we're both on the same side of the table. The more I do, the more I make, and I don't have to take freaking orders from people. That's one of the most important tenets of being a Ronin. There's another reason too. It is super easy to get partners. It's way easier to get partners in a deal than it is to get clients. If they got to give you money up front, it feels like a marriage, right? It's, oh, I got to marry this guy or this girl. I got to pay him a bunch of money. It's really hard. That's why copywriters and agency owners and freelancers in general really struggle because it's so hard to get clients because it's a marriage almost. And they've got to pay them all the time and people don't want to hire people. So we take that out of the equation just by making a risk-free proposal and offering a first date and let's see how it goes for both of us. And it's extremely easy. If you say, hey, your program's 5 grand, right? Let's go through the last people that went through your challenge and let me reach out to them one-on-one and see what's going on with them. Or we can set it up where we're in their autoresponder after I like that even better, where we're in their autoresponder, say they get done with the challenge follow up in 7 days and we can be in the autoresponder on the 8th day just replying back to emails or DMs. But again, I'm the world's worst on video, so I talked myself into, I forgot where I was going with that. But the big thing is on that is it's super easy on that basis. Let's just run a test. Let's see how it goes. No commitment for you, no commitment for me, right? And they're like, yeah, that makes total sense, right? So it's super easy to get those. And then as soon as you start doing it and you get some, and you'll know right away a lot of times if it's going to work or not. But man, you make these folks any amount of money with no risk and no time out of their pocket. And they're the ones that like, oh, else can we do? What else can we do? What else can we do? They want to get you involved more. So that's the other reason, other than our autonomy and serve no master. We don't want to make it hard to get partnerships and deals, right? It's extremely simple if you follow what I show you to do. So if replying to emails and DMs and such sounds appealing to you and making $500 commission or $1,000 commission, you could do it at less too, but usually like, why do it for under 500 bucks, right? If that appeals to you, I'd love to have you in Ronin. I'm not much of a cheerleader. You got to bring your own motivation. There's lots of accountability, people holding each other accountable in there. But if you're out there doing it, like I'm in there every single day, I'll give you all the support you need as long as you're doing it. I'm not a good cheerleader. I'm not the guy. You need to bring your own motivation, right, for that. But if it sounds like a fit for you, I'd love to mix mojo with you. There's the price isn't about to go up. There's not a limited quantity. There's no, I'm not going to give you a fast action discount or any of those things. I'll still be here tomorrow if you want to come in tomorrow. The opportunity is not going away anytime soon, even with AI. AI is just making it simpler for us. But what I would have you look at is I don't know how you keeping the lights on or what your day job is or any of those kind of things, but if you need something where you can kick back on the sofa, if you not everybody is as worthless and as lazy as me, but like I'm rewatching Ozark again for the second time, and I just kick back and I reply to emails and DMs, make 500,000 bucks during an episode, right? So if you don't have some type of gig like that, let's just say the commission's 500 bucks, right? And that's what it's costing you every day you're not doing this, right? That's what it's really costing you. But like the price isn't going to go up. From time to time, I'll put a trial on. If you see a trial right now, like I don't do that very often. It's going to be happening less often. But if you see a trial on right now, you can go ahead and jump in. You could try it out for 7 days, I think is the trial period there. And that's about it. Would love to see you. There's right now, as I'm talking to you, there's 530 other Ronin in there. We're doing deals all the time. We're teaming up with people. It's hard to describe, but it's like you're not going to be doing it alone. There's all kinds of people helping. If you get somebody, in a niche that you don't particularly wahoo about, like health or something, there's all kinds of health people every year. If you like, there's some people that like to do the diabetes offers, and so there's a network in there, which is probably more of the value than listening to me or any of the training in there, as the network that we have. People are posting deals in there all the time that they don't have time to work. So it's a lot of fun. Other than serve no master and autonomy, fun is probably what really high in my world and in the Ronin world. So love to have you, and thanks for sitting through my bumbliness and ums and ahs and looking down at my notes and such. I hope, even if you don't come in Ronin, I hope you can go out and do this if you know how to run follow-ups, right? There's a big wide world out there waiting. Like nobody has time to do it. You can follow up for them and get paid a nice commission. Take care.